Karma's an ass. I'm all up in her butt crack. If I had a wish, I would be a fake lesbo. There's a reoccurring trend when it comes to child stars. A reoccurring trend that I point out very often on this channel. You know, we watch these bright young stars. We watch as they entertain us on movies, music, and TV shows as kids. And then we watch them crash and burn as they transition into adults, and we entertain ourselves with the news and gossip about their downfalls. And when this happens, everyone always acts shocked. They act flabbergasted. Even though the signs were always right in front of our face, it's just some people can't seem to notice. I mean, how many times have you seen a news article online or something like that that says, "Where are they now? Where are these kid stars now?" And you see someone that you used to watch on the Disney Channel or Nickelodeon growing up, and you see them now that they're in their 30s or 40s and they look like addicts. They look like they've lived the roughest life possible. We see this happen so much. We see it happen so much that it's kind of mind-boggling to me that people can't see these signs. But they're always there. And right now, these signs are there with JoJo Siwa, and that's why I'm calling this stuff out. Now, don't get me wrong. JoJo Siwa is very cringy, okay? I get secondhand embarrassment from watching a lot of the stuff that she does. And I don't even know her, never been a fan, never really cared. But I do think that JoJo Siwa still has an opportunity to turn things around. She hasn't, her situation isn't as bad as a lot of situations that we see with young stars her age making that transition from a child star into an adult. So I do think that JoJo is not a lost cause yet. But the signs are there. And I mentioned that I think that in the future, JoJo Siwa is going to be one of those people that is kind of resentful. She's going to resent her parents, resent everyone for kind of robbing her of her childhood. JoJo Siwa is one of the obvious people that you just know. When JoJo is like 40 or 50 years old, her whole career is going to be about complaining about what she went through as a child. I mean, the writing is on the wall. And I don't know if she was able to have much of a childhood. She was always performing on tour, things of that nature. She was placed in a very interesting position. One that takes a toll on people for sure. And I just see it. I already see it happening. Maybe JoJo won't turn into one of these raging addicts that turns unrecognizable. I'm hoping that doesn't happen to her. But I do think that she's going to turn into a bitter person when she gets older. Bitter about some of the things that happened to her as a child. I can see the writing on the wall. And there's already little tidbits that are coming out. There's little things that JoJo Siwa has been saying that really reaffirms my thoughts and opinions about this. Because I don't think we're going to have to wait until JoJo is 40 or 50 years old to really start complaining about some of the things that took place when she was younger. Because here she is 21 and she's already complaining and kind of questioning some of the things that happened in her life when she was 16. She sat down on this recent podcast opening up about certain details, and she talked about how she was amazed that her parents let her girlfriend move into their house with her and live full time with her when her girlfriend was only 16 years old. So JoJo Siwa was 17, girlfriend 16, and the parents were like, hey, just come live full time with us. And JoJo said it was like she was already married. They were already a married couple living together. And I think she regrets that. Her mother claims to regret that. And these are just the little things. These are like, I can't explain it. It's like holes in a wall and you see the light shining through. Okay? These are little tidbits that I'm picking up on now because I think this gives us a good idea of how JoJo's going to be in the future. And I do think that she is going to resent and hate the fact that most of her childhood, most of her younger years went to performing and doing all of these things. But let's go ahead and dive into this article and see what JoJo had to say. In a conversation about living alone for the first time, JoJo reflected on the time when she was living with her parents and a significant other under the same roof. As a 20-year-old, I look at 16-year-olds and I'm like, oh my God, you are the age that my girlfriend was when she moved into my house. Like, clearly, U-Haul lesbians are a very real thing because I was one without even knowing what one was. Looking back, Siwa says it was a mix of things that led to their living together, like the demic, the summer, and not wanting to be long distance. One thing led to another, and they started living like a married couple at 17 and 16. We had a breakup. It is so hard and so great at the same time, JoJo said. Looking back, all of us are like, that should have never happened. My mom says all the time, I should have never allowed my 17-year-old's daughter's partner to live with us when she was only 16. That was not healthy for you. That was not healthy for her. It was not healthy for her family. Someone should have put their foot down, but no one at the time felt like it was right to. So, no one felt like it was right to tell little star JoJo, hey, you can't be living with your significant other. She's 16. She can't live here. Now, I don't want to take things there, but I'm going to. Part of me questions if these people would still allow 16-year-old girls around a 21-year-old JoJo Siwa. Part of me really questions that. And the fact that JoJo is comfortable enough to open up about this on a podcast, it lets you know that there's so much else. If she's willing already to open up about things like this, just imagine how much stuff that she knows that she can't talk about. How much stuff that she knows really isn't appropriate to put out there. You know what I mean? But it's obvious that she, now that she's 21 and an adult, I guess, she's already questioning her parenting. Or she's questioning her parents and why they parented her like that. She's already reached the stage where she's like, yeah, maybe y'all shouldn't have let me do that when I was 16. You know, maybe y'all should have stepped in like a normal parent would instead of letting me run the show. So this is the type of stuff that I was talking about earlier in the video. About how often when these child stars get older, they get bitter. And they're not happy about things that happened to them when they were younger. And yeah, when they're younger, they may love being in the limelight for a second. They might, oh yes, my girlfriend gets to live with me. It's so cool. But you get older and you question these things. You get older, maybe you raise kids of your own, or you look at other kids and you realize, hey, I wish I had that childhood. Instead of having to perform in front of people, instead of having to act, instead of having to do this. Maybe I wanted to go running around with the normal kids at the playground. Maybe when I was 16, I wanted to do 16-year-old things in my relationship with my girlfriend. And I didn't want her living with me full time as if we were married. And maybe at the age of 16, I don't know any better, but my parents should have known better. But the parents didn't do anything to protect JoJo or to protect that little girl who moved in with JoJo. And I think the reason is because the parents, in my opinion, were so desperate to craft this gay image for JoJo Siwa. Now, I want to be clear because some people they're too sensitive. They just can't take it. I have no problem with anyone being gay. If JoJo Siwa is gay, cool, whatever. But I do have a problem when it seems forced. I do have a problem when you try to push certain stuff on kids. I do have a problem when it just all seems, like I said, like it's for show. And you're doing this for attention and clout. Now, if that was a 16-year-old boy and JoJo Siwa was straight, if that was a 16-year-old boy, I doubt the family would have let him move in with JoJo. That would have never have happened. But they've been desperate. And when I say desperate, none of this is natural. JoJo Siwa coming out, JoJo Siwa walking the red carpet with her girlfriend, JoJo Siwa at all of these pride parades. That's the only place that she performs, by the way. She's not getting booked anywhere else, but she's at every pride festival. It's forced. It's really forced. It seems as if the team behind her wanted to make the transition. They felt like maybe they couldn't make the transition from child star to an adult star, so they kind of tried to toe the line. We're going to keep you like a child star, but now we're going to promote you to the LGBTQ community. And I mean, look at how she looks right now. If you want to be grown, take the rhinestones off your face. Take all of the colors out of your hair and act like an adult, and people will view you that way. People aren't going to view you as an adult when you're around here dressing like a Power Ranger, looking like a cosmic brownie. You know, I don't get it. I do get it, but other people don't get it. Let me put it like that. When you look at JoJo's current image, it's easy to say, I don't get it. And I understand why a lot of people don't get it, but I get it. Because it's like I said, they want to keep JoJo's fan base, which is a bunch of 12-year-olds, but they want to acquire a new fan base. So they're going after the LGBTQ community because I think that they think they'll be more accepting of JoJo as opposed to regular people who will look at her and be like, what in the hell is this girl doing? So, I don't know. It's just all around weird to me. But hearing what she had to say about this relationship, seeing that she was comfortable enough to talk about this on a podcast, even confirmed that her mother, in retrospect, was like, that wasn't a good idea. It was unhealthy. It just lets you know that there's so much other stuff going on behind the scenes. There's so much stuff that JoJo probably will never say. And I'm just hoping that JoJo Siwa doesn't become part of this trend, because right now she kind of is. But in many ways, it's like when I look at her situation, she's overloading us with cringe, but she's not as bad off as a lot of child stars that we've seen. So there's still hope for her. There's still hope for her. And that's a good thing. So for now, let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.